Tensions in the world are at an all-time high, as the new Führer of Germany has mobilized his entire military on the borders of Japan. Japan has done the same. Now, tensions are at an all-time high and could explode at any moment. But eventually, we have a setting-off point. An incident happens at the Panama Canal. Japanese troops who apparently mistakenly believed that the Panama Canal was a joint occupational zone between the Greater Nazi Reich and Japan. Japanese troops stormed up to the border with the Panama Canal, which was basically invading Greater Nazi Reich territory. Nazi soldiers approached these Japanese soldiers, asked them what they were doing there, and they said that this was their territory. The Nazis, believing that this was an invasion, started to open fire on the Japanese soldiers. When this was relayed back to the Japanese emperor, he declared all-out war on the Greater Nazi Reich. This has now turned into an all-out war between the two nations remaining on Earth. But now let's check in and see what those rebels are doing. Well, boys, we finally did it. Yeah. After all that walking, after all that traveling, we finally made it to Atlanta. You can say that again. You guys came just in time, too. We were planning to launch a full-scale attack on the Greater Nazi Reich. All-out attack? What exactly does that mean? We are planning to liberate all of Georgia in preparation for the massive war that is going to happen. Massive war? Yes. Yeah. It's actually crazy. I got in touch with Emperor Hirohito, and he's all in for this plan. Oh, nice. So we're going to actually have Japan as an ally in this war? Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's just that security in this place is pretty tight, so, kind of just wanted you to keep an eye out, make sure, there's no imposters among us. Will do, sir. Will do. Yeah, make sure there's no imposters among you. Oh, wow, that's neat. The news is on. Breaking news. Well, today we have some very unfortunate news for the entirety of the Germanic Reich nation. Today is a day that will forever live in infamy in Germany's history. German territory was invaded through the Panama Canal by Japanese soldiers. Our soldiers, confused, opened fire on the ferocious and evil Japanese trying to steal our territory from us. And then the bloodthirsty Emperor Hirohito mercilessly declared war on our nation. I am making this broadcast to encourage everyone to fight for your nation, to stand proud for the Greater Nazi Reich. This is our finest hour. We shall prove not only to ourselves, not only to the Japanese, but to the world, that the Nazis shall forever reign. Heil Hitler! What was that all about? Just classic propaganda made up by the almighty Ronald Reichsman. Yeah, his reign of terror is soon to be over. I feel kind of bad for him, though, He has to be the Führer of Germany to witness the Nazi Reich's downfall. Must feel so sad being him. Yeah, get what you say, but this Reich has to go down one day or another, and if we wait 100 years from now, everyone's going to be too brainwashed to even think about doing anything, so it's basically now or never. Yeah, but didn't he, mention something about, the two nations being at war now? Over all the propaganda he was shouting at me, yeah, I could kind of make that out. Well, don't you kind of think that means that it's our time to kind of, act? Oh, yeah, totally. Hey, men, start preparing. We're going to attack the Nazis in about 3 days. Sir, yes, sir. Oh, wow, you got these guys trained like actual military personnel. How do you think we've won 2 battles against the Nazis already? Well, 3, because the time you saved our butts. Yeah, 3. Speaking of professional military, though, you should probably start getting military gear on, Can't go fighting them in casual clothes. You gotta have a professional military uniform on. Wait, you want us to join your army? Heck yeah, you've shown you got what it takes. I mean, you broke out of one of their re-education camps all by yourselves. We had more people with us when we did that, but yeah, whatever. Still, that's incredible. Of course we'd want you on our side. We both have the same enemy. Yeah, I mean, if we both have the same enemy, why wouldn't we team up? Yeah, so, well, the military uniforms are in the back, the guns are to your left. Let's start preparing. Wow, gotta say, boys, we put together a pretty professional military squadron. Yeah, dude, I totally agree. I mean, we look like we could whip the Nazis' butts right now. Speaking of, I think I see them over there.
Oh, that's it, rebel scum. We aren't playing games anymore.
Oh no, they have a big scary tank. You know what to do in these types of situations. Open fire. It's not going to do anything to a tank. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not dead. Try and find cover. Get in this tent.
Idiot. Time to die.
I think you're actually the idiot.
What?
Grenade! Oh, that wasn't that bad. We only lost 3 soldiers. Oh no, the actual attack force is here now. Oh god, it was a diversion.
Time to get blasted. We're not taking any more of this resistance.
Well, you're gonna have to, because we ain't surrendering.
Yeah, blah, blah. There's no way you're gonna defeat us. It's 5 against 3. Give up.
Actually, no, 6 against 3. You may have double our manpower, but that doesn't mean we're gonna back down.
I've heard enough out of you. Open fire.
Take cover! Calling all units, back up. I've had enough of you Nazi scum. Boom! Oh crap, we're losing men. Open fire! 2 can play at that game. Your men are dropping like flies. We're not losing a single soldier. Gotta admit, this is the toughest resistance I've seen from these Nazis. You're the resistance, you dumbhead. Yeah, so? This is the toughest I've seen these Nazi soldiers fight, but we still won't give up. Oh, that's it. We've got more toys, you know.
Time to die.
Gulp.
3, 2, 1.
Wait, what was that? Wait, what? Hold up, what's that army emerging from the distance? Wait a minute, that's not the Germans. It's the Japanese. Woohoo, let's go. Hey, we've learned a lot about you. We've learned that you guys have been a thorn in the Nazis' backside for a long time now. Das is true. So, think you want to join our squadron? I mean, you did kind of just save our butts back there, so, I mean, we might as well return the favor. Great. You guys are going to boost our numbers significantly. But wait, didn't the war just start? How have you guys already got a foothold on the United States? Oh, it was simple. Our air superiority decided to fight the German Luftwaffe, and when all else failed, we used our Navy and blew up a lot of their, Air Force yards that were right off the coast. That crippled their Air Force, so by the time we started dropping bombs with our kamikazes and stuff like that, their Air Force could barely fight. So you Pearl Harbored their ass. Pretty much. Except we attacked their Air Force, not their Navy. Then, after our Air Force got dominance over the eastern coast of the United States, we started sending paratroopers in. Our Navy was able to easily beat back the German Navy, and we also started landing troops via sea. One of our paratroopers landed right on the Tennessee-North Carolina border, so we decided to come in. Eventually we got to Atlanta, and yeah, we're here. Jeez, you would have thought these guys would have been defending the Americas a lot more fiercely. Oh no, they are way too focused on, defending Europe and the Soviet Union territories and the Middle East. They're so much more worried about defending those territories than they are the United States, or what used to be the United States. Yeah, Japan, I want to thank you again. Thanks for saving our butts back there from the Germans.
No problem. Well, I think our new alliance is going to be, pretty unstoppable. Would you guys mind to add a third faction?
Hold up, who the heck are you?
We are the Free Germany Legion.
Free Germany Legion? Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we come originally from the eastern territories of the German Reich in Europe, but we decided that we would find a better home here, and then once all the violence started in Atlanta and tensions started rising with the new Fuhrer getting elected, we decided to make ourselves an official political party. But, of course, the dominant political party, the fascists, didn't take too kindly to that. Our political party was a monarchy, by the way. And, well, they didn't take too kindly to it. We were considered, unruly, and we were considered rebels. So I said, yeah, you know what? We'll be rebels. And, well, now there's a all-out civil war.
So they kind of shot themselves in the foot there.
Yep.
Well, we'd be happy to accept you into our group. You know what we say, an enemy of the Nazis is a friend of mine.
We will gladly accept your invitation to your alliance.
Our numbers keep growing by the day.
Meanwhile, in Berlin, Germany. Commander, what were you thinking? I'm sorry, I just didn't know that the Japanese were gonna, do what they did. The Japanese are known for pulling stunts like this. You should have known that they were going to go after the United States, specifically the East Coast. Again, I'm sorry, and we did kind of expect them to attack, but we only expected them to attack the naval yards. We didn't think they would go after the Air Force. We didn't think they'd be stupid enough to try and fight our Air Force. Which is exactly why they did it. Listen, Ronald Reichsman, I'm so sorry about this massive military failure. Your apology is not accepted. You'll have to pay for this a different way. With your life. No, please, Ronald Reichsman, I'm sorry. That's the second general I've had to execute this month. Yeah. Well, guess it's time to plan an attack on the Japanese.
And now we see where the war is currently heading. We see that the Japanese are doing exceedingly well in Central America and in the Caribbean. However, they aren't doing so hot in Africa or in Asia, which is very surprising. You would think they'd defend Asia, the heaviest of all of their territories, but no. The Japanese understand that if they want to have any hope of defeating the greater Nazi Reich, they're going to have to strike where they're most economically and militarily dependent on, the United States. If the Japanese can take North America from the greater Nazi Reich, that will deal a heavy blow to the Nazis. We can see that Ronald Reichsman's blitzkrieg tactics have already failed miserably. And zooming into the war in the Americas, we can see that the Japanese have already occupied a considerable amount of land. Some of this was due to the help of the Atlanta rebels, but, And yet another rebel group pops up, this time in the center of the United States. This is the Free Germany Legion. Seems that the Nazis won't be holding on to the United States for too long. However, the Nazis wouldn't be doing this terrible in a war against the Japanese for no reason, right? No, of course not. You see, Ronald Reichsman has a plan. No, this plan is not to nuke the hell out of Japan like you would think they would do. No. It's something far more sinister. Ronald Reichsman has a plan to crush the morale of Japanese military personnel and citizens. Basically, he wants to deliver such a strong blow to Japan that the citizens and military of Japan basically realize that the war just is not worth fighting. Second phase of this plan, Emperor Hirohito needs to die, and there needs to be a new government in Japan installed that could maybe discuss peace talks with the Nazis. And by discuss, we mean be threatened into accepting all of Germany's ultimatums, which is complete annexation. And that's basically their plan. Crush the morale of the Japanese citizens and military, and then get rid of the government in Japan and replace it with a new Nazi sympathizing one. How they're actually going to get close enough to Tokyo to do such a thing? Who knows? But it is a plan that is still in the works, so it will still need some time to be planned out. The Japanese, however, too have a plan to win this war quickly. The Japanese plan is what we thought the Germans' plan was going to be. To build a superweapon, more powerful than a nuclear bomb, an antimatter bomb. Not just one, but multiple of them. They plan to drop these nukes on cities such as Washington, D.C., Berlin, Paris, London, Moscow, Kiev, basically major cities all throughout the German Reich, crippling their ability to fight and crippling their economy. That way the Japanese can easily crumble the Nazis. However, the Nazis are going to use this new weapon as a kind of pointing fingers at Japan, saying like, hey, they're the bad guys, they're out to completely obliterate us, and the creation of this weapon is actually going to help the Nazis in their propaganda plan. However, whichever way this war goes, it will be a very, very bloody fight. All the way to the end.